let's kick into the next item on the agenda, which is the President's report. And this has been circulated today, this being a document. I put together a report, and I'm going to briefly go through it. Joe, we did upload this to the WAIA website, did we not?
Yep.
And whereabouts is there a link for those people who may be taking this elsewhere?
It's on the post about the stream.
The post, okay, so on the WAIA website there is a post about the streaming, and you'll see links to the President's report, and you'll also see links to the financial report, excuse me, which is a 7 megabyte PDF, and Paul Arch, our Treasurer, will later be providing a discussion about that, or going into a report about that. But let me just quickly go through the President's report, and I must say that as I was putting this together...
Richard.
Yes, sir.
We've got a problem here with the transmission.
Oh, well, that is what it is.
It is recording.
Okay. So, as I was going through preparing the details for this report, I realised that this year has actually been a very busy one. We've achieved a lot. And it's interesting because during the course of the year, as we kind of go from meeting to meeting and as we go from activity to activity, I kind of sometimes get a bit frustrated that we're not achieving more and doing it faster and doing it better. But we actually did a lot. And so I'd just like to briefly run through what we did achieve for in this last 12 months. We've launched the IX Australia. IX Australia as a business and also as a brand. And you'll see on the banner here to my left, your right, the IX Australia logo. And the banner. These are all work in progress, and we're still developing this. This was just launched a couple of months ago. But basically, as you'll see from the report, IX Australia is, as we define it, is the independent, not-for-profit internet peering exchange service operated for members across Australia by the WA Internet Association. It's commercially neutral, it's carrier neutral, and it's ISP independent. And those really are some of its key strengths. We launched the new logo for IX Australia in July, and which is only a couple of months ago. And it's already starting to get some traction. We're developing the marketing collateral for IX Australia. IX Australia really is becoming the umbrella, if you like, the umbrella business name and the business operating, or the operating business structure, providing the services that WAIA is running, both all throughout Australia, really. At the moment, as you'll see in the report, we have for 16 and a bit years now been running the WA Internet Exchange, or WAIX. Over the last few years, we've set up VIC-IX and QLD, Queensland IX. And this past year, we've set up SA-IX and New South Wales IX, NSW-IX. And so all of those are really being now operated under, rather than individual IXs, which are really more locations and POPs, we're running them under the IX Australia brand, or the IX Australia business. So that's really how that fits, and I guess over the next few months and years that will evolve, and we'll see where that goes as well. There is a Twitter account for IX Australia, which is not surprisingly IX Australia, and there's also a Facebook page for IX Australia, which is facebook.com/IX Australia, /IX Australia. So the IX Australia brand is something that really is providing the overall services, rather than trying to promote a whole lot of, and trying to develop a whole lot of individual names, VIC-IX and SA-IX and even WA-IX, which everyone knows and loves here in Perth. Rather than trying to develop those, what we're saying is I think we can put our resources into making resources working harder, developing the overall brand and the overall business structure under the name IX Australia. So that's really where that fits in. So over the course of the next few months and over the course of the next few years, you'll see more and more about IX Australia, and probably less and less about individual weights and New South Wales, NSW-IX and SA-IX, because we'll be trying to operate those under the IX Australia brand with different locations identifying those. And within each location also, there'll be different POPs. We've already got multiple POPs in each of those locations, which is kind of fun. As you'll see from my report, we started the year with WAIX, VIC-IX and QLD. We've now got SA-IX and NSW. We've got 6 POPs in Perth. We've got 2 in Melbourne, we've got 3 in Brisbane, we've got 2 in Sydney, and we've got 2 pop locations in Adelaide. And over the course of the next few months, and obviously going forward, we'll be adding additional locations, additional pops into each of those centres, as makes sense. This is run and driven by members. It's driven by demand from members. It's driven by and run by services run by enthusiasm and interest provided by members. So we're very responsive to members. And so anybody who's got an idea about a good location for a hearing pop, please let us know. And Joe's the guy who is developing that as the technical manager for WAIA and as the technical manager for IX Australia. And Joe's actually going to be taking some questions and giving a bit of an update about that in addition to what I just said. As you'll see in the report, we've got 86 peers in WA, we've got 37 in Vic, we've got 33 at the moment, this is as of today, 33 in Queensland, 14 in South Australia, and 34 in New South Wales. We started South Australia in February, and that operates in 2 locations, and we started New South Wales in July. And we also had a launch event for the IX, for New South Wales IX, NSW IX, and also IX Australia. The initial pop in Sydney, in New South Wales, is located at Equinix in Mascot, and you'll see the details in the report about the different organisations that chose to be part of that as foundation peers. And we're really thankful and very grateful for people who have come in to support that. Since that time, we've actually launched a second pop, which is at Global Switch in Ultimo, and that was just in August. We've already got 3 significant organisations peering there, and a lot more in the pipeline. So in New South Wales, already, just since July, we've got 34 active peers, and another 6 are in provisioning. And this includes some of the biggest internet operators in Australia, and we're really pleased and thankful for that. Names like Google, Yahoo, Microsoft, Amazon Web Services, Highwinds, Edgecast, Primus, M2, iiNet, some of these organisations that have got so much content, and being able to peer that makes so much sense. We've also, as you'll see there in the notes, we set price parity. Once when we started launching these different services in different states, for various reasons, they operated in different pricing structures. And that got a bit confusing both internally within our organisation and also probably for people who were thinking about peering and noticing different prices for peering. So we said, let's simplify the whole thing. Let's set the prices common, and we actually reduced prices where we could to, because we operate on a not-for-profit basis, but we're also not for loss. But we said, okay, let's reduce prices to have them consistent across Australia. And so this is, we've now got what we call pricing parity. What we've also done this past year, and it's taken longer than just a year, but it's got to the point now where tonight Joe's going to actually announce, or we are announcing it tonight, that we've developed, as you'll see there in my point 3 in the report, the storeroom 2 in the Cubic 1 basement is now open and ready for business as a co-location centre, a data centre for members of WAIA. This is whether they be located in WA or anywhere else. And this is something that, as I say, Joe's going to be talking more about. This is providing limited rack space where every organisation who's a member is going to be able to have some space there. And we're going to have, I think, as I say, Joe's going to be talking more about this, but for the next 2 to 3 months, we're going to be taking applications for that. And so an organisation will be allowed to have one facility there, one rack, was it
allocation of space.
Sorry?
Allocation
of space. So basically it's a 4 AU space, isn't it, Joe? Yeah. So 4 AU, and they'll be allocated. So one member will be able to have one allocation over the course of the next 2 to 3 months. If there is space left over after that, then people will be able to have more if they want it. And so we're very pleased to be able to do that. We've set pricing at that, again, that's not for profit, not for loss, but also we think an appropriate level for people, and certainly hopefully going to be attractive for members to take advantage of. Another point that we've done, as you'll see in my report, is we've undertaken a review of the Constitution. And this happens every few years. I've been involved in WAIA for, gosh, probably more than 10 years now, I think, at different times. And every now and again we look at the Constitution and say, are these rules under which we operate still appropriate for the organisation? And another item of business that we'll be looking at when we get to it in the agenda is actually looking at the Constitution and some proposed changes that we have suggested and recommended for that. Basically to say, actually, we need a constitution that reflects our national organisation as opposed to just a West Australian focus. We've also improved our membership information. We have spent quite a lot of time over the course of this last year updating our records for members and getting more member contact details so that we can more easily and readily communicate with members as we need to. And thanks to Kelly for doing that and organising the database. I don't know whether anyone is involved with groups and running contact lists and mailing lists. It's a challenge to keep things accurate at the best of times, and so it's certainly a challenge for us as well. We have at the moment 99, I am told, 99 professional members within the organisation and 93 corporate members and 1 affiliate member. We've also looking to improve our website, and this is an ongoing thing, as anyone involved with websites knows. This is really an ongoing thing. We've developed a new member portal, or a new portal for members, where members are able to access services, pay accounts, join up, and do various things. Unfortunately, it's not quite ready for launch right now. We were hoping to have it at the stage for the AGM to be able to say yes, it's all systems go. It'll probably be sometime in the next month or two. It may be less than that, hopefully, but we'd rather kind of under-promise and over-deliver. So expect news about that in the next couple of months. We've run events. We've run our members' cruise in 2012 in December, a cruise on the mighty and magical Swan River, and we had a mighty and magical night, for those who can remember. We also, as I mentioned earlier, ran a special general meeting in April, and we had a presentation by Juniper, which focused on building the best, helping members prepare for the NBN, and that was a very popular, very technical, but very popular session run by the Juniper guys here at the Hive in Perth. We've also celebrated WAIX, the WA Internet Exchange WAIX had its 16th birthday. We started the peering service in Perth 16 years ago in June, and so in June this year we had a 16th birthday party, and we had a fun night. Sadly the cake was late, but we can make up for it on the 17th birthday. We also had an event in Sydney for the launch of the New South Wales IX, and that was on the 10th of July. And that was very popular. A number of the people on the executive went over for that event and met and really got to know a lot of the guys in Sydney who were representing some of the organisations that already had started to want to peer and who were looking at peering with us in New South Wales. And so thanks for, I wasn't able to attend that session in Sydney, but for those number of people who went over for it, thank you very much for finding the time to go over to the fabulous party in Sydney. We've also, as you can see, we've been involved in the community. We've done various things, the internet community and the general online community. With OzNOG, we've made donations to Electronic Frontiers. We're also donating money to Plug to help them in their streaming activities. And we've been involved in various other programs as well. We have joined Euro IX, and now Joe's actually getting, and WAIA and IX Australia are getting a lot of benefit from the membership of Euro IX, being able to access various resources that are at that sort of level. We have, at great frustration and but also great fun, I think, for those involved, migrated the accounting system. Probably not really fun, but migrating the accounting system from Mile to Xero as part of the move to the new website and member portal. We found that Xero accounting system was far more compatible for being able to work online for the benefit of our members than the old MYOB system. So we've migrated to Xero now, so what you're getting in terms of accounts are coming out of Xero, and that's just happened in the last couple of months. So all credit to the team headed up by Paul Arch, our treasurer, and Kelly and the various other people who are involved in the accounts. And I'd like to also, just to wrap up now, and say special thanks, as I mentioned in my report, special thanks to these guys who are involved with WAIA, and also the people who are volunteers on the executive. We put a lot of time in, actually, and different people put in different time. at different times. But it's done on a voluntary basis. We have Joe, who's the technical manager, we have Kelly, who's the executive officer. There's various other people who assist on a paid basis, whether it's developing the website or on a bookkeeping service, or our accountant or the auditor. Lots of people, but the executive committee itself is made up of volunteers, and we're looking for more people to want to get involved. We have tried to have a very inclusive approach to that, and we want to make sure that we really are tapping into the best that's available in our membership to assist in the development and growth of the association. And we're really keen to get people outside of WA to assist as part of being members of the executive, and hopefully that will grow in time. So that's pretty much me with my President's report. As I say, when I kind of look through that, I think, gosh, we actually did do quite a lot of things, and we have had a busy year, and we have grown the organisation significantly. It's partly due to, well, on the executive, it's partly due to the growth of AIX Australia, but really onwards and upwards. And what's the next 12 months going to hold? Truth is, we don't know, but hopefully it'll be more of the same and better. And as we go forward, we're going to be continuing to expand services to members, and expand both the technical services, but also the member benefits. And if there's anything that we can learn from you, our members, about the things that you're looking for out of the association, we have some resources to provide, to be able to utilise to provide services. And so we're very keen to understand what it is that people throughout Australia, in this space in which we operate, want from us, that we can then assist. And this is done, as I mentioned earlier, on a not-for-profit basis, member-driven, member-organised and member-focused. In terms of AIX Australia, it is carrier neutral, it's commercially neutral, it's independent. It's independent of any ISP, and it's also independent of any particular business motive or profit motive. And unlike other services that may be available that offer potentially similar kind of peering or whatever it may be, we know that we're going to be around in the future. We've got a strong track record of being around in the past, and we know that we're going to be around in the future. We're not building up a business to sell it off to someone, and who knows what's going to happen after that. So we really thank you for your support of the Internet Association, and thank you very much in advance for continuing with that. Thank you. I will now call on Paul Arch, Treasurer of WAIA, to provide the financial report. Thanks.
Thanks, Richard.